Hello everyone, we're back with more tributes, so welcome to another video on our channel News Faster. This video features a list of American legends who died recently or within the last few days. Number 1. Tom Christopher. In the ABC serial series One Life to Live, Tom Christopher played the role of mobster Carlo Hessler. He passed away in New York on Thursday. He was 84. Steve Bergman, a close friend, sent a heartfelt Facebook message confirming his passing. According to Bergman, Christopher had been ill for a while. Tom has been ill for a while, but he handled everything like a pro, according to his statement. We had wonderful, lengthy talks every time we chatted, which was 2 to 3 times a month. He was a very intelligent man who told amazing stories and offered wise counsel. On Facebook, his former co-star from One Life to Live, Anthony Crivello, also posted a heartfelt message and photos from their time as the father-son pair. Actor number Tom Christopher, a longtime friend of mine, passed away today. He was always kind and helpful, and he and his wife Judith, who died before him, were always friendly and kind to me, Crivello stated. Born on October 5, 1940, Christopher first appeared in a soap opera in the 1950s, starring as Noel Douglas on The Edge of Night. His portrayal of the extraterrestrial hawk in Buck Rogers in the 25th Century is another notable accomplishment. After making cameos in a number of other television programs, such as Kojak, The Eddie Capra Mysteries, T.J. Hooker, Hunter, Murder, She Wrote, and Simon & Simon, he was cast as Carlo Hessler on ABC's One Life to Live, which won him a Daytime Emmy in 1990. Although his character Carlo Hessler was eventually murdered off the show, Christopher was given the opportunity to reprise his part as his identical twin from 1996 to 2008 in typical soap opera tradition. Christopher won the 1992 Daytime Emmy after being nominated twice in a row. In 1993, he received his second nomination for the role he played in Loving, which he played after leaving the ABC soap series Dante Partout. In 2019, Judith Leverone, his wife, passed away. She was a playwright and agent. Number 2. Barbara Taylor. The best-selling author Barbara Taylor Bradford passed away on Sunday. Her 1979 book, A Woman of Substance, sold 30 million copies worldwide and was made into a popular Channel 4 miniseries. She was 91. A representative confirmed Taylor Bradford's passing to the Associated Press, stating that she passed away in her New York City residence. There was no cause of death mentioned. Taylor Bradford was born on May 10, 1933 in Leeds, Yorkshire, England. She started out as a journalist before starting to write novels in her 40s, most of which focused on young women who overcame adversity to succeed in business. She authored 40 books in all. All of them were bestsellers in the US and the UK. In 1979, Taylor Bradford published her first and most popular book, A Woman of Substance. In 1984, Jenny Seagrove, Deborah Kerr, Barry Bostwick, and Liam Neeson starred in the 3-part Channel 4 miniseries that was based from the book, which had sold over 30 million copies worldwide. The plot, which spans the 20th century, centers on Emma Hart, who transforms from an adolescent Yorkshire servant to a retail tycoon and must choose who will continue her legacy. The series' last installment, which aired over 3 nights, brought in 13.8 million people for Channel 4, its greatest audience to date. It was nominated for an Emmy in 1985 for both Supporting Actress for Kerr and Outstanding Limited Series. It was broadcast in the United States. The novel evolved into the 8-part Emma Hart epic, with television adaptations of the sequels Hold the Dream, 1985, and To Be the Best, 1988. Other book series that Taylor Bradford wrote include The Cavenden Chronicles, 2014 to 2017, The Ravenscar Trilogy, 2006 to 2008, and The House of Falconer, 2018 to 2023. In addition, she authored 12 non-fiction books on topics such as manners, housekeeping, and Christian children's literature. In 1963, she relocated to the United States and married film producer Robert E. Bradford, who would later produce her novel's film adaptations. In 1992, Taylor Bradford obtained U.S. citizenship. Queen Elizabeth II appointed her an Officer of the Order of the British Empire in 2007. Taylor Bradford was preceded in death by her husband, who died in 2019. Number 3. Chuck Woolery. Chuck Woolery, the longtime host of the game shows Scrabble, Love Connection, and Wheel of Fortune, passed away at the age of 83. Mark Young, Woolery's friend and podcast co-host, told the Associated Press that Woolery passed away at his Texas home while his wife, Kristen, was present. Woolery is survived by his wife, daughter Melissa, and sons Michael and Sean. There is no question that Chuck Woolery was the real deal. Susan Stafford, Chuck Woolery's co-host on Wheel of Fortune, told Fox News that her 7 years as the show's initial host and hostess were like magic. Our deep friendship continued after our time on the show. The statement went on to say, he was unique. Chuck was unlike anyone else. Off stage, he was just as personable, honest, and full of enthusiasm as he was on. It was all the more worthwhile because he was deeply spiritual and we both had a genuine love for God. I'm very happy that I'll see him again. Woolery received a 1978 Daytime Emmy nomination and was recognized into the American TV game show Hall of Fame in 2007. During his 11-year tenure as presenter of Love Connection, which began in 1983, Woolery came up with the catchphrase, "We'll be back in 2 minutes and 2 seconds." In 1984, he started hosting Scrabble, and until 1990, he hosted both game programs concurrently. He also hosted the brief syndicated reincarnation of The Dating Game from 1998 to 2000, as well as the shows Lingo, Greed, and The Chuck Woolery Show. He portrayed himself in 2 Melrose Place episodes in 1992. Chuck Woolery, naturally stoned. The Game Show Network's first effort at a reality show focused on Woolery and ran for 6 episodes starting in 2003. Wheel of Fortune, which started on NBC on January 6, 1975, was Woolery's first television appearance. The original name of Wheel of Fortune was Shopper's Bazaar. Following Woolery's performance of Delta Dawn on The Merv Griffin Show, Griffin requested him to co-host the new program with Stafford. They altered it to Wheel of Fortune and were accepted after NBC first passed. Several years later, Woolery asked for a raise to $500,000 annually, which was the same amount that host Peter Marshall was earning on Hollywood Squares. Griffin turned down the request and substituted Pat Sajak, who is most frequently linked to the show along with Vanna White, for Woolery. Before going to college, Woolery, who was born in Ashland, Kentucky, served in the U.S. Navy. Before forming the psychedelic rock duet, The Avant-Garde, in 1967, he played double bass in a folk trio and supported himself as a musician by working as a truck driver. After working on television, Woolery started making podcasts. He identified himself as a conservative libertarian, constitutionalist, and gun rights activist, telling the New York Times that he had kept his political views hidden in liberal Hollywood out of concern for reprisals.